Hello and a very good afternoon to all of those who are watching me live on the Facebook page of News9. I'm Neha and today we will be talking about the fact that the Chief Minister has said no to further lockdown. So what next? On the 22nd of July, the CM in his FP address to the people of Karnataka stated that there will be no further implementation of lockdown in the state. That means from here on, there will be no lockdown in Bengaluru or in any other district in the state. We tell you how life is going to be, living with the virus around and with no lockdown. But before we begin talking about it, let me quickly tell you what is the COVID-19 situation like in Karnataka. So the positive cases in the state stand at 71,069, while the active cases are at 44,140. The death toll due to COVID-19 stands at 1,464 and the recoveries are at 1,664. So Karnataka, do remember, now has the third most number of active cases in the country, which is largely because of the cases in Bengaluru alone. In Bengaluru urban, we have 34,943, while in Bengaluru rural, we have 940 cases. So coming back to the lockdown will only be implemented in containment zones and clusters. Night curfew remains the same, which was of course 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday's curfew will also remain the same. The Chief Minister has made it clear he has chosen economy over COVID-19. He said lockdown is not the solution, despite the health experts and many others suggesting otherwise. Let's now talk about the problems and challenges before the Chief Minister, before the state government. First and foremost, among those challenges is the bed shortage. So there is a severe shortage of beds due to spike in the number of cases. The private hospitals are fleecing patients. For example, I was just having a word with someone, in fact, the other day. He said that in general ward, what we got to know, of course, from people as well around, one bed costs around 5,500, which is way more than any other normal day if made a comparison. So people, of course, second most important challenge which is before the state government is that people who had left Bengaluru will now start coming back. And now that the lockdown has lifted, many people who were stuck in other states will also start coming back to the city, which means that they pose a threat to themselves as well as to the others around them. There is already a spike that one gets to witness. The cases may continue to rise exponentially. Third and the most important question is, how will the top 10 districts in Karnataka combat COVID-19 and what will be the scenario there? What we mean to say here is that with no lockdown, how will the rising number of cases in these 10 districts which contribute the most to Karnataka's COVID-19 tally be brought under control? Of course, I'm talking about Kalaburgi, Yadgir and several other such districts where we have seen Dakshina Kannada, where we have seen a steep increase in the number of cases. Fourth point is peak hour traffic and congestion in urban areas. So one of the most important thing to be kept in mind is the social distancing. Bengaluru is known for traffic snarls during peak hours. So what's the traffic management going to be like? That's something that remains to be seen. Another point, if I have to, stretch upon the first point that I made, bed number portal has not been rectified. How is the state government going to manage to provide beds to ever-growing number of patients while the discharges are disproportionately low compared to huge number of fresh cases? Sixth point is, ambulance shortage is of course one of the major concerns for the authorities. We have been hearing several people complaining that the ambulances are not reaching on time. So what's the plan in action there? Seventh, of course, several people also complaining that the private hospitals are not cooperating and an action must be taken against the errant hospitals. What's the plan in action there? That's also something that remains to be seen. Now, shortage of ventilators is another major challenge that lies before the state government. What's the plan of action there? Still not really, in fact, known. Now, helplines should be fully functional. There should be enough guidance given to those who in a panicky state end up calling the helpline number. There should be a very religious guideline provided to them. Now, quarantine centers should also treat the patients well. These were a few challenges that lie before the Chief Minister. Do remember, B.S. Yediyurappa, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, in the past has put the onus on the people, saying that the ultimate responsibility lies with the people, and the spike was because the safety protocols were not followed religiously, which isn't entirely wrong if you ask me, because the experts also have said that if the COVID-19 norms are followed properly, then we can actually continue to live normal life. But having said that, it is also the responsibility of people to make sure that the norms are followed. Like, there is, of course, as much as it is the duty of the people, it is also the duty of the state government to ensure that, the norms are followed. For example, there is a punishment to break the law. There should be also a stricter punishment for violating the COVID-19 norms. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa did appeal for the cooperation of all in combating COVID-19. He must have taken the decision after consulting with the experts and must have taken all the factors into consideration. That's what we believe. So we here at News9 also conducted a poll on our Twitter to understand what is it that the people of the state feel about the decision taken by the state government of not implementing the lockdown. And this is the result that I have with me. 49% of the people have said yes to the decision taken by the Chief Minister, and 51% of the people have said no. Of course, this tweet is bound to garner some more reactions. But having said that, as of now, many people do believe that the lockdown should have continued in the city for a little longer, given the fact that there is a steep increase in the number of cases. But do remember that this is the decision now that has already been taken by the Chief Minister after he consulted with the experts, and the decision is that there will be no lockdown in Bengaluru or in any other districts of Karnataka. The onus, ladies and gentlemen, lies completely on us. Whenever we are stepping out, we have to make sure that social distancing is religiously followed. We have to wear masks. We have to take enough preventive measures. It's not for anyone else. It's only and only for us to make sure that we are able to save ourselves from the invisible enemy as well as our loved ones. So, of course, here the Chief Minister has also requested the people to follow the lockdown, of course, to follow the guidelines that have been put out in combating the COVID-19 situation that has, in fact, that one gets to see. Of course, the situation was pretty much not anticipated by any in the world. Do remember that millions of people have lost their lives and many are still battling for theirs. If you think that COVID-19 is, in fact, something that we can take lightly, I suggest you stop right now, because this threat is very, very real. Take care of yourself as well as your family members. Thank you very, very much for watching Facebook Live with me, Neha Ban. I'm signing off, and I really hope that this information was helpful to you. Do not forget to subscribe News9 YouTube, like us on News9 Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself.